Welcome in, everybody. Greatest channel of all time, Cozy's Ghost Adventures. Today I want to tell you a creepy story. So let's get into it. It was cold, foggy Halloween night when a group of friends decided to visit an old abandoned circus on the outskirts of town. Okay. The circus had been closed for decades, 10, 20, 30 years, I believe. And rumors of strange ass happenings had kept everyone away. Every time when someone would go there, they just felt the chills. But the thrill of midnight adventure was too much for some of them to resist, if you know what I'm saying. As they approached the decaying gates, the air grew unnaturally still. The faint sound of the carnival music still played in the distance, though no one could see where in the world it was coming from. They made their way in the main tent, their flashlights flickering on the wind that was howling outside. Inside, the atmosphere was thick, dust and decay everywhere. The stands were rotting, and the performers' costumes were still there, hung in tatters. But what caught their attention were the old, weathered clown mannequins. That's right, I said it. Clown mannequins. Positioned in a grotesque poses all around the tent. I can tell you right now, if I was in that tent, I would be creeped out. For I do not like clowns. Their painted faces, cracked with age, stared out at them with eerie, unblinking eyes. One of the friends, curious and brave, Marco stepped forward to inspect one of the mannequins. As soon as his hand touched it, the tent plunged into darkness. The music stopped abruptly, and the deep, unsettling silence now had filled the space entirely. Suddenly, the air grew heavy, and they could hear the unthinkable and unmistakable sound of footsteps in the darkness. In the darkness! The music, yes, that stopped. Oh my goodness. Slow and deliberate, coming from all directions. When the lights flickered back on, the mannequins were no longer still. Those sons of guns had moved! What would you guys have done? So now the mannequins have moved. Those clowns were no longer sitting lifelessly on their pedestals. See, they were being put on the pedestal, if you know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm talking about? They were now standing. Their twisted, painted grins wider than before. And they were coming closer by every second that had passed. In a panic, the group turned to flee, but the exit had now disappeared, replaced by only a wall of thick fog. They couldn't see where they were going, and they were terrified for their lives. The ground beneath them seemed to shift all of a sudden, as if the circus itself was still alive, trapping them within its haunted walls. I can tell you this much, guys. The last thing anyone saw before they vanished forever was a clown, its face distorted with anger and madness, standing in the center of the tent, holding a blood-stained balloon. In its other hand was a sign, crudely written, "You are the next act." Eesh. It just gave me chills up my spine. Anyhow, the next morning when the police arrived to investigate the abandoned circus, all they found was an empty tent and the faint sound of distant carnival music playing just a little bit too loudly in the wind. There you go, guys. I hope that gave you guys some chills. Would you like to hear more ghost stories? Comment down below with the word yes. Also, take a minute, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. See you guys on the next one.